Hi guys, welcome to our second virtual class. For today's video, we will talk about preposition of place. And if you want to know about the correct usage of each preposition, please watch until the end of the video. We will start our discussion about preposition of place, at, in, and on by providing the definition of prepositions. So what are prepositions? Prepositions tell us where or when something is in relation to something else, meaning one of the functions of prepositions is to establish a relationship or connection within the sentence to make the meaning clearer. Aside from that, prepositions also tell us where something is or when something happened. In other words, prepositions give location or time of the occurrence. There are also other types of prepositions for us to indicate direction, time, location, and spatial or abstract types of relationships. But in this video, we will be focusing on the preposition of place or preposition of location. We will be integrating dimension and preposition, wherein we will be dividing the prepositions of place into three groups using concepts from geometry. The first concept is point, second, surface, third, area and volume. Each of these concepts has a particular preposition of place to refer. And we will start with the first concept. For the first concept, which is point, it refers to the preposition at. The preposition at is the least specific of the prepositions in terms of spatial orientation or relationship, and it follows a certain pattern: subject, preposition at, and the object of the preposition. It has also a variety of uses. For location, which the object defines or identifies the location of the subject. Destination, which shows cause and effect relationship. And lastly, direction, which means someone or something follows a certain path towards an object. To understand each of these, let us start discussing individually the uses of the preposition. Let us start with the location. There are two examples that I will be giving to you for us to understand when to use the preposition at for location. First example, Dexter is waiting for his boyfriend at the mall. In this sentence, the mall is the object of the preposition at that identifies or defines the location of the subject, which is Dexter. We will use the preposition at in this manner if we are referring to a position, place, location, which can be seen as a point of reference. So if we will have this one in illustration, this sentence looks like this. Next example, May rode a roller coaster at the amusement park. In this sentence, amusement park is the object of the preposition that identifies or defines the exact location of May as the subject of the sentence. We will use the preposition at in this sentence if it refers to a certain place that conducts activities involving group of people. We all know that the amusement park is a public place where there are a lot of different people coming over to enjoy different rides. Now, if this sentence turns into an illustration, it looks like this. So that's how we're going to use the preposition at in terms of location. Let us proceed now to direction or destination. For destination, it gives again cause and effect relationship, meaning there is something that triggers for something to happen. So for these examples, We arrive at the house early. So in this sentence, we could assume that the people involved in this particular situation have gone through a different place before arriving at the present object of the sentence. So the we here is the subject of the sentence and the house is the object of the preposition at. So if we will have this one in illustration, having the assumption that the people involved have gone through a different place, this is how it looks like. For another example, the waiter was at our table the moment we settled. For this sentence, there is already a phrase or part of the sentence that gives us the idea that that is already the prior action done by the people involved. So in this sentence, the waiter is the subject of the sentence and the table is the object of the preposition. The phrase right after the object, the moment we settles, is the exact action that corresponds or that results for the waiter to come over to their place or their location. So if we will have this one in illustration, this is how it looks like. So in other words, the use of preposition at in terms of destination, there must be a prior activity that would trigger for a new course of action. For the next use, which is direction, it means that someone or something is following a certain path to a particular object. For example, the policeman hopped at the innocent man. So in this sentence, the policeman is the subject of the sentence and the innocent man is of course the object of the preposition at. So if we will analyze this particular sentence, the innocent man is either stationary or in motion. And then the policeman is following that certain direction that the innocent man takes. So in illustration, this is how it looks like. For the second example, the stray dog jumped at my face. So the stray dog here is the subject of the sentence and the face here is the object of the preposition. It only means that the stray dog is going to a specific part of the body of the person involved in the situation. So if we will have that one in illustration, this is how it looks like. So there you have it, the different use of the preposition at and how to correctly use them in different situations. However, there are also different cases where we can use the preposition at. For example, in terms of address, shops, and treatment centers. For address, this is one of the common examples. I live at 324 Aurelio Street. So we are already giving the specific or exact address of where people live or where we live. Next is shop. Shop, boutiques, or other stores that we buy our necessities or other stuff. For example, I bought 10 shirts at Topman. So there are some people who use the preposition in. For example, I bought 10 shirts in Topman. So that one is incorrect. So if we are trying to put emphasis to where we bought or buy something, we will use the preposition at. Next is treatment centers or places that gives treatment as their service. For example, I had my heart surgery at Cebu Doctors University Hospital. Please do not be confused in using the preposition at to the preposition in, because when we use the preposition in, we do not specify the exact name of the place. But in the preposition at, we give the exact name of the center or the place that we are trying to emphasize in the sentence. So for example, I had my heart surgery at Cebu Doctors University Hospital. But when we use the preposition in, we could say I had my heart surgery in the hospital. So that's how you're going to use it. So we are done with the preposition at in the concept of point. Right now, we will now be going to the two other concepts of geometry to explain further when to use or how to use correctly the prepositions on and in. For the surface, it refers to the preposition on, wherein we use it if we are in a space that is considered as open. While on area or volume that refers to in, or the preposition in, we use it when the space is enclosed. But there are also cases wherein we can use both prepositions, but remember that when we use these prepositions, they have different meanings. For example, in the fields or windows. To understand it clearly, let's try to have these examples. For fields, so a group of 3 men is practicing on the field. And the other example is 3 cows are grazing in the field. So if we are going to look into the illustration given, we could see that the first example shows that the place that the 3 men are practicing is not enclosed in any object, while the next or the other example gives us the idea that the cows are enclosed in a particular surface with objects of each part. It can be enclosed by a wood, a concrete, or even a ring or a rope. So that is for the field. While for windows, this is how we are going to use the prepositions on and in. For the first example, the snow made patterns on the window, and I saw your handsome face in the window. So if you would observe in the illustration, the first example gives us the idea that when the snow falls, it falls on the surface of the window. That's why it made a pattern. But for the second example, it means that this aside from its surface, which is the glass, and enclosed with a particular material on each side, the face appears. So that is the reason why we use the preposition in instead of the preposition on. Okay, so that's how you're going to identify the use of each preposition depending on different situations. Again, as what I've said, we can use both prepositions, but they have different meanings. We can also use the preposition in and on for street, avenue, and boulevard. First, the children are playing patintero in the street. Second, my boyfriend's house is on Orhelio Street. So for the first illustration, we are given with the idea that the children are in the middle of the street. But why do we use the preposition in? In this case, we use the preposition in because the street is enclosed by 2 sidewalks, right and left sidewalks. So if they are in the middle, we use the preposition in. However, in the other example, we use the preposition on if it is not being specified if which part of the street the object is being situated. For example, the boyfriend's house is on Orhelio Street, so it's either in the left or the right sidewalk. But if it is specific, for example, 324 Orhelio Street, we will not be using the preposition on, but instead we use the preposition at because that is already an address. So another example, if I would say, I am in Mango Avenue, meaning to say I'm in the street, enclosed by 2 sidewalks, right and left. But if I would say I'm on I'm on Mango Avenue, it means to say that's either I am on the left or the right sidewalk. So that's how you're going to use the prepositions in and on. Next, we could also use the prepositions in and on for transportation, which is this one is a little tricky for others. But in this time, I will be explaining to you in simple terms so that we will be able to understand when to use them correctly. So this table gives us the common prepositional phrase that uses on and in. So in our left side, we have the on, and the right side we have the preposition in. On the left side, we could really see that we are using different transportation modes like bus, plane, train, and ship. It is the same with the right table. However, they are different in terms of the situation. We use the preposition on if it's a public transportation, and especially if it is moving, while we use the preposition in if it's a private transportation, just like the car. However, it has a thin line for the bus, plane, train, and ship. We use preposition in if the transportations are not in motion, meaning they are not moving. So it is correct when you say I'm in the bus, meaning the bus is not moving. But when you say I'm on the bus, meaning to say the bus is moving. So that's how you're going to use on and in transportation with different situations. So do not be confused, or do not be hesitant to use the preposition on and in for as long as you know what the situation is. So I'm on the plane, I'm in the plane, I'm on the train, I'm in the train, I'm on the ship, I'm in the ship are both correct. For as long as you understand that on is moving, in is stationary. So I think that's all for our discussion on the prepositions of place, at, on, and in. I hope you have learned something from this presentation.
So much for watching. Please do not forget to click the subscribe button and the notification bell for our next video.